So I want to apologize really quickly for the video yesterday. I made a mistake when doing that video. I was under the impression that the spells on Meglok were a little bit different than they were. So I want to run through all of his spells really quickly with y'all, as well as give my updated opinion on Namaka and Meglok. Hopefully that doesn't affect too many of you. So my apologies. I am not too crazy to not admit when I'm wrong. So in that case, I was wrong. So let's go over Meglok really quickly, because he's actually quite a lot better than I originally thought. And I've been thinking for the past hour or so, kind of like how to use him, like how, would he be viable against bases. So I just want to give my updated opinion and let you guys know. Let me know down in the comments what you think as well. I'd really appreciate that. So, anyways, getting on to this. This is the main thing that I thought. What I thought, and I swear I read this somewhere. Someone said, I think, that Apex Predator was going to cost 2 rage. And that, to me, was going to ruin this dragon. Because if you get hit by a red mage or a blue mage with having no way to gain rage quickly and having no way to dodge mage shots, you are going to be screwed over really quickly. However, I found out just earlier today that Apex Predator, both of the uses, will cost 0 rage. And that changes this dragon pretty significantly. So, Apex Predator, let's go over the spell. Alternates between Primordial Breath and Primal Shield. This Primordial Breath, active, white, 0 rage spell, okay? Dragon's Breath attack deals 100% increased damage for 4 seconds. Spell has 2-second cooldown. That is pretty significant considering Tangling Kelp, alright, which is active. It is 2 rage, but it deals 5% of Dragon's modified HP as damage to all nearby towers and freezes them for 3.5 seconds. Frozen towers will take 30% increased additional damage after being hit. So 30% additional damage on top of the 100% increased damage that dragon will be dealing. That is crazy damage. And that's going to be over 4 seconds. 4 seconds isn't a super long time. But I think if this guy is at a higher tier and has decent gear and runes, he may actually be able to take out maybe like 2 towers, maybe even 3, depending on how you use the spell. That's not terrible. So, the Primal Shield is also pretty good. So, it's going to shield the dragon for 100% of its modified HP for 3 seconds. If the shield isn't broken after 3 seconds, the shield will explode and deal 15% of the dragon's modified HP, which, by the way, is crazy. That's a lot of freaking HP on a hunter. On a warrior to nearby towers. Primal Shield has a 7-second cooldown beginning when the shield is cast. So this shield should never be broken, because 100% of the dragon's modified HP. That means that this dragon is, what's a better way of putting it? If this shield is broken, that meant your warrior would have been one shot in 3 seconds. And if you're attacking a base that is relative to your dragon's level, like, for example, you're not attacking level 80 towers with a Sapphire Meglok, that's never going to happen. So, this thing is going to be dealing 15% of dragon's modified HP in a second to all nearby towers. If you time that with Tangling Kelp, dealing an additional 5%, that's 20% of dragon's modified HP. That will pretty much one-shot, I think, maxed out towers, if I'm not mistaken. Even if you do the Tangling Kelp, alright, you make it to where they take an additional 30% additional damage, and then you have that shield explode. Dude, that's actually kind of OP. Not to mention, Regenerate. 0 Rage, when cast, Regenerate heals 31% of Dragon's modified HP over a 2-second duration, and it has a 4-second cooldown. Well, the glyphs that this guy has decreases Regenerate's cooldown. So let's say every 2 seconds you can get 31% of your HP back. That's nuts. You just have to kill the blue mage. But he has so much attack increase for 0 rage, like, this actually is a lot better than I originally thought. I will admit that. For a warrior, I actually do think that this guy will be viable. Better than Namaka? I don't know. Namaka is interesting. It's really it's a very interesting skill set. The synergy between the spells is very precise. watching Salty McNulty's video. By the way, guys, check him out if you don't watch his videos already. Just search up War Dragon Salty McNulty, he'll pop up. Watching his video against Double Defended against a max base with Namaka, you know, it does make me wonder his viability against max bases defended, especially considering he is at Abyssal tier already. I'll know next week. Again, I will have this dragon at max tier within the next week or so, on my own account. So, I don't know. But from what I can tell, I want to say Namaka is still going to be more viable for longer, considering the fact that this is still a warrior. And even though he does have a way to freeze towers for 3.5 seconds, which I'm assuming that will also work with mage shots and will stop mage shots, that's actually kind of OP. Because on, like, short islands, for example, mage shots will never hit you. I mean, you could pretty much keep towers perma-stunned, right? Because you could freeze it for 3.5 seconds, and the second that, like, at 3 seconds after you use that spell, you could use it again, freeze it for another 3.5 seconds. I mean, that's... I don't know if that 30% additional damage is going to stack, because if it does, that's crazy overpowered. Because that's going to be 60% additional damage with you casted this thing, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed with this dragon now. Now that I'm looking at it like more in depth. The only issue that I see with this guy is that the Primordial Breath can only be used once every 9 seconds. It has a 9-second cooldown in effect, because it has a 2-second cooldown before you can use Primal Shield. And at the same time, you have the 7-second cooldown of Primal Shield. So 7 plus 2 is 9. So you're not going to be able to use this spell for 9 seconds. And that is quite a lengthy cooldown. So you're really only going to be able to use this spell once every 9 seconds, which is pretty much once every island. More or less. So... I mean... I guess he may actually be better than... Namaka. He may be better than Namaka. Especially considering that a lot of people don't like flying hunters. You know, warriors are a lot easier to fly for the majority of players, so you may find a little bit more potential or usability from Meglok than Namaka. I will keep you guys updated, though. The second I get Namaka, you guys will be seeing videos of him orange through, you know, the final tier. I completely blanked. Empyrean, there we go. I don't know why I blanked there. Anyways, so, yeah, I apologize for yesterday's video. I went ahead and took it down, so hopefully not too much damage has been dealt yet. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it helped you guys out, and I will see you in the next video.